I had a dream last night. I was standing in a garage with someone I thought was my friend, someone so close felt like family. Someone walked up and gave me a big, like 4 to 5 inches, of money in an envelope. Looking at it is full of $50 bills and $100 bills. I actually felt really good because I have people around me that cared about me. The person said, "This is for the job you did. I really appreciate what you did. Hopefully, we can work together again soon, because I like the way you do things." Then the person walked away. And the person I was with was really happy also, because they got money also, so we were really happy. The person asked me, "What are you gonna do with your money?" I said, "I don't know yet. Maybe I'll invest it. Or maybe I'll just go to the casino and blow the whole thing. Or maybe I'll just donate it," because in the back of my mind, I know there are certain people out there that can always use a helping hand. As we walked down the stairs, we saw in the distance one of our friends laying out by a pool, with all these lounge chairs, with other people that we know. Everyone grabbed the chair, and the money was in my hand. Then for some reason it was in my pocket and I had either a jacket or a towel in my hand. I sat down like my friend was in a chair, and one of the guys said, "Once lay back and relax. You will enjoy yourself. You deserve it, for everything that you've done." But in the back of my mind, I felt something was wrong. I always get those feelings. Some people say it's intuition, or it's just a gut feeling. Look around, all the lounge chairs were taken. This guy's friend is a female. She walked up, couldn't find a spot. And the guy turns to me and says, "If you don't want to be here, if you don't mind giving it up for somebody." My chair, because she could be closer to him, and I said sure, no problem, because I always like to be the nice person and help someone out, but there was no place for me once I get up, so I just grabbed my things, and I start to walk away. The guy I was with, up in the garage, he said, "Where are you going? That's the time to enjoy what we have done." And he actually looked like, "Don't go, because you matter." And one of the ladies looked at the guy and said, "What did you just do? You need to fix this right now. Because he's your friend. And you just treated him like he didn't matter." He looked like he felt bad. But it was more like he got in trouble by somebody else, so he was just trying to do the right things, not because he wanted to. So he told the other person that I was with to go and talk to me. As I'm walking away, people looked like there was something wrong, and all I did was I turned back, and I said everything is okay. When in fact, inside of me, I was in so much pain. I felt like I did when I was on the playground. And people were picking teams. And I was the last person to be picked, or even the next to last person picked. That feeling that it didn't matter. Because when I was a kid, and that happened, it didn't matter if you were playing the game. You could just sit on the sidelines or just walk away. And nobody would even care if you were gone. That pain that's so deep down inside, that makes you feel like you just wanna cry. But you can't show it, because then people will know how much pain you are feeling. For some reason, females see it more than someone else does, because they have more emotions. But I've been really good at hiding my pain. The weird part was, for some reason, I knew it was a dream, so I tried to make the dream better. I was starting to walk away, the person resembling Jason Momoa, my friend, asking where I was going, and I just told him, "Don't worry about it. I will be okay. Just remember, I have this big large thing of money and we'll catch up another time." When in fact I was just dying inside, and I wanted to get away from everyone before. I actually felt like I was going to cry. Wishing someone just wanted to hang out with me and be my friend, and pick me first. Others. I have a lot of friends in my life, people that seem like they cared about me, but somehow, I always got stabbed in the back, or the feeling that they just don't want me around anymore. So in the dream, I just tried to change up the ending before I would wake up. I just wanted to go out on a happy note, but I still have that pain inside of me, even when I woke up. That pain inside of me, because of what it felt like when I was a kid and throughout my life. Back to the part of the dream that I was trying to see. About as I was walking away, walking up some steps, I went to a bar that was shut down, and ordered a club soda. Some lady walked up. It seemed more like a person that just was looking for somebody to be with. But I was the person that was in pain. And I just didn't want to be a side hustle, or a John, but she was trying to make money, or just get out of her situation. For the moment, I started talking with her and she was talking with me. Simple chit chat. It's always funny in a dream nobody ever pays for a drink. She was drinking wine, and asked me what was wrong, and of course the person I said there's nothing wrong. And then she asked me, should I just leave you alone? And instead of being rude, I said it's always nice to have company, and deep inside, I felt like just leave me alone, and let me just deal with my pain, on my own. So we sat back, talked a little while, and I said it was very nice to meet you, but I need to go. She asked me where I was going. I said the airport, and she said that's exactly where she was going to. She just wanted a drink before she got on a plane. I asked her where is she going? She said, I don't know, somewhere that people don't know her. And maybe she could find happiness. I could feel exactly what she was saying, but for me, it's not just finding happiness, to hopefully get rid of the pain, of the empty inside me. So we walked to an area to get a cab, and go to the airport. I have a driver with a cab, and I said take me there. He smiled and he said okay. The lady looked at me and said, we're going to the airport, right? And I said yes, but we're going in a roundabout way. In my dream, I didn't tell anyone that I was going anywhere. I was very well off with my finances. The plane I was taking was my own private jet. The plane had 2 pilots and 2 stewardess. The cab drove to the plane. Ladies were waiting for me to show up. They looked happy to see me, but they were employees, so they were happy to see me because I signed their paychecks, same just like the pilots. And I always thought if I didn't have money, these people wouldn't care anything about me. So the lady asked, is this yours or are you just renting it? I said this is mine, well, one of mine. I have several others, depending on where I need to go. I work all over the world, and you're the only person that knows this other side of me, because it seems like you understand parts of me, because of what you're going through. So she got on the plane. I said, do you want to sit by the window or the aisle? She wanted to sit by the aisle in case she needed to use the bathroom. I said there are several chairs, so you can sit wherever you want. She said I'd like to sit next to you and hold your hand if I have any problems, but I get scared from flying. I said that is fine. Then the flight attendant asked me, do I want your usual, and your friend what would they like? I said yes, and I asked the lady what would you like to drink, glass of wine or brandy, or something a little stronger to calm your nerves? As I'm sitting there, I see you, the lady, enjoying her drink and trying to calm down because she didn't like to fly. I was thinking I could be sitting in a swimming pool with people I know, possibly enjoying myself instead. I am on my own plane, feeling like crap, because the people I thought were my friends just let me walk away. I believe they're probably just thinking, oh, I'll come back later, and we'll all just hang out and enjoy life. When in fact, I wasn't coming back. If I saw them again, it would be by accident. And they wouldn't even recognize me, or they would just walk by me and wouldn't even notice I was there. This part was a little unclear. But in my dream, the flight attendant asked me something, like the pilots would like to know where we are going. I said let's go to France, maybe Paris or maybe Switzerland. And then I turned to the lady. I said, where do you want to go? She looked at me and said, I don't have any place to go. Wherever you pick would be fine. And I said, where is the one place that nobody knows you, and we'll go there? She said nobody knows her in Europe. Hopefully. I said okay, I have some family in different parts of Europe. We can always go and see if they're busy or not. But you know, family is always busy, but they always have time for you, if you have time for them, if they're the kind of people that care. She'd say she would like to go to France. I said, what part do you want, Paris or some other area? She said she saw a video once of this big barge kind of boat going down this river or canal throughout France. It goes by wineries, different areas, small towns. The boat goes so slow that you could ride a bicycle faster than it goes. And I looked at her and I said, I remember that video. I've always wanted to do that. I saw that when I was about a young teenager, and I always thought it would be fun to do that with someone and enjoy life with. To me, it didn't matter if it was someone that was male or female, just to be able to go somewhere and enjoy life. And I said, let's go. So I told the pilots are going to France. And they said, what part? I said, Paris. And I asked the flight attendant to see if she could find that boat barge to take that trip that takes anywhere from a week to possibly 2 weeks. To completely just disappear, turn off all cell phones and any kind of electronic devices. And just enjoy life with someone even if the person isn't there for the rest of your life. But that one moment in your life that you can absolutely forget everything and feel completely at ease and happy inside. We were talking about that trip. And she said, "Do you remember the part in the video that they have bikes on the boat? Where they will stop the boat and you can go to the wineries or just ride along the dirt road and catch up with the boat and forget about everything. Because the boat is only going like a half a mile an hour. So you can ride ahead and stop up at a winery or a little restaurant and have something to eat or drink, and then just get back on the bikes and catch up with the boat, depending on how fast you ride." About my need to catch up with you, but it was so weird. Someone knew about that video and that boat ride. Actually, feeling like there's a connection with someone. But then I saw my reflection in a mirror. And I realized it was all just a dream. And that pain came back and it hurt so much that all of a sudden I was in a room. There was a dark room with a gray light at the end of the hall, and I was somewhere in between, where it was really dark and kind of dark gray. And that pain hurt so bad that I remember people saying how much it hurt for a heart attack. The pain that's right in your heart area, like a burning sensation. Like you're going to die of a broken heart. Because nobody cares. But then I woke up and realized it was all a dream. But that pain was real. I woke up feeling that pain when I was a child. And how it made me feel. I guess when you're young and you feel that pain of emptiness. Like nobody really cared about you. I know my mom cared about me because I was her little boy, but there are nice times that other parts of my family made me feel like if I just disappeared, it wouldn't really matter and then I'd be the running joke. Like I couldn't handle it, so I just had to leave. But I always want people to feel what I feel, like if I disappeared, not that I took my own life, but if I just disappeared and I wasn't around anymore, would anybody even care? Or would I even be a thought? I always thought if I could get away and disappear, possibly make new friends or find somebody to fall in love with, that would actually be in love with me, and I would be their world, and they would be mine. It's nice thought, but you do have to actually get up and go out. Meet people, get enough money, and just leave and start a new life somewhere else. Because people are useful in your life. Or they are not. It's like you have a garbage bag. And the people in your life are things to keep you happy, or people that are just garbage and you need to throw away. The ones that keep you alive you need doesn't always mean that you really need them. My family. That's also like people that pretend to be like family. But they're not even friends. People that have ever put you down. If it's in a joke, that's one thing, but if they notice it bothers you, they apologize right away. But the ones that keep doing it and making you feel worse, they are not friends. They are nothing to you. They are a waste of space in your life. Everyone that reads this book needs to look at their life as a bookcase. Some are big, some are small. And some are fancy. But some are plain. But you have to know when to take certain books off your shelf because they're not useful, or if you have decorations on your shelf, if it makes you happy, then you keep it there, you dust it off, keep it clean. But if it's a book that looks like it's rotting on the shelf, you need to take it and throw it away because it has no purpose in your life. Everyone's bookshelf needs to have a purpose, things that you enjoy, things that matter, not having something on your bookshelf that you are doing things for, but you're not getting any real enjoyment from. It's just like a fake feeling. Like I know this feeling. I did things for other people just so that they would like me and want me around. I would do everything for certain friends because they were popular and I wasn't, but then I started to become the joke. And you hear people saying, why do you have this person in your life? They don't have any purpose. And the person usually says, well, it's always nice to be nice to someone and that person does a lot of things for me, so I let them be my friend. When I heard that, it hurt, and I just thought, well, at least I have someone that lets me be their friend. But then I thought about it. I don't want someone to let me be their friend either. I am or I'm not. I am not. Somebody will just be used and treated like crap. I matter. If I don't matter to somebody else, I matter to myself, and there's gotta be somebody on this planet that I matter to. Someone who will love me or care about me because of who I am. I don't need toxic people in my life. I need someone that will understand what I'm going through. It's always nice to have someone that you can vent with, someone that you can talk to. I used to talk to myself all the time because I was my only friend. I would play board games. I think of just random games and do them by myself. Because I couldn't really trust anyone because people would say they were my friend. But then they would go and stab me in the back or spread lies about me, and I felt so terrible thinking having a friend do that, someone that says they care about me. Why is it people like to be a bully? Why is it make it feel better when other people put other people down? It's taking me more than 50 years to find a place for myself and what I want. Kinda like being on that boat barge going through France, like that video, like it's another world, another time, another place. Where I could actually feel like I matter to myself. I still wonder when I die, hopefully of old age, that I matter. I'm not talking about being known for certain things like the warrior Achilles or certain other people, just even being remembered a little bit. I know people get married to have family. Their kids will remember them and maybe their grandkids, but after that you start disappearing. But I would be okay with that because at least I was a thought, and somebody's life, that I made them happy and not empty. Thinking about that pain. It hurts so much it just makes you wanna cry because of the pain that just sits there and doesn't go away. It's a pain that just can never go away. I try to hide it so much. I've learned over time how to keep my emotions inside. People always say, "Are you angry or mad?" And I say no, I'm actually a happy person. I just don't like to smile, but when in fact I told them I was in so much pain, people would look at you funny and treat you differently, so I just keep a blank face and say I'm okay. But in fact, I just have that aching pain, kind of like an old dry leaf. It's very brutal. You take it and you just can crumble it in your hand, and that's what it feels like every time I feel that pain inside me, and I just wanna end it all.